Hey there, this is Mr. Icarus, and welcome to the channel update for September 2016. It's been an interesting month or so since the last channel update. Lots and lots of interesting stuff to talk about, but first of all, I'd like to start off by saying thank you very much to all of my subscribers here on Icarus Lives, because the channel is very nearly at 15,000 subscribers. That is absolutely fantastic. Right at this very moment, it's currently sitting at 14,943, but I'm pretty confident that by the end of the week, with the rate that people are signing on and subscribing to the channel, we will have hit the good old 15 treble zero. So once again, thank you also very much for subscribing to the channel and enjoying the content that I make. It's a great feeling to know that people are interested in the crap that I make, basically. And I'd also like to say thank you very much to my patrons over on my Patreon page. Specifically, Ben Rosenberg, Incursion Gerbil, and Very Sophisticated. There goes your big badass shout out for this month's channel update. Also, my Loon tier reward supporters up there, thank you very much for supporting me through Patreon. Being patrons, basically, whatever the thing is. You're all awesome. And if you'd like to be part of that, if you'd like to help support me through Patreon, the link is in the description below. There's not a lot that I can really offer you guys, but I'm always open to suggestions. So if I spot a good one, if I spot something that I can do for you guys as Patreons, as Patreon supporters, god damn it, I can never figure out the name for this thing. I'll try and do it. Be that, you know, game days where we all get online at the same time and play an awesome Doom mod through Zandronum or something like that. But whatever, we'll try and sort it out, and I'll try and make it a thing, because that would indeed be awesome. But in other news, aside from all of you being fantastic and badass, Doom 2016, the Let's Play, is all done and dusted. I now have an open slot in my schedule in order to work on other stuff, which is a little bit of a relief, to be perfectly honest, because I'm not a regular Let's Player when I come to think of it. It's something that I only really dive into very occasionally, and I'm constantly thinking that I'm doing it wrong for some reason, but enough people seem to have enjoyed it. It's now in the Let's Play playlist, along with all my other finished or semi-finished Let's Plays. I had a bad habit for a while where I'd kind of abandon a Let's Play a few episodes in because I just felt it was going absolutely awful. But no, we stuck this one to the end. Doom 2016, all done and dusted, and it was honestly quite fun going through it again, making sure we rooted out all of those little collectible toys. Very proud that we managed to find all of those. Did miss a few secrets, but hey, there's always another playthrough. I can always go back to those missions in my spare time and get that 100% that I've been desperately searching for. But yeah, that's all done and dusted. That is something thoroughly achieved. And I've also finally gotten around to releasing H-Doom. Good grief. Let me just tell you, I now have a vast amount of respect for people that have to apply sensor filters to fast-moving footage, because it's not just a case of holding a filter over that particular portion of the video. It's nothing as simple as that. You've got to animate that sensor filter. You've got to animate a path for it to follow. You can't just, you know, sit there and, you know, click a button and just follow the offending bit of footage around with your mouse. That would be far too easy. You've got to set keyframes. You've got to make sure that all of this stuff is pixel perfect, frame perfect from moment to moment, so that nothing offending slips through. And quite frankly, if I would have decided to apply that to all of the boob that is available in H-Doom through general gameplay, I would have gone firstly insane, and secondly, the video would never ever have come out on time. It is just such a time-consuming process. So instead, I just decided to focus down onto the sex scenes, basically, because those were locked down. Those were easy to throw a sensor filter over, and yeah, much less of a pain in the ass. I also got to have a little bit of fun putting pixel faces over jiggling boobs. I found that quite amusing. But yeah, it's been a bit of an experience, to say the least. The software that I was using to render the video decided to crap out on me as well. The sensor filters flat out just refused to work, so I had to go upgrade everything, import the project into a new program, and cross my fingers that it wasn't gonna screw everything up, which it did for a little while, but through some weird process it fixed itself. Honestly, most of the time using video editing software is closer to black magic. I just have no idea how it's supposed to work, but sometimes it just does, and sometimes it just completely falls apart. But ultimately, I can say that I've done it. I have put HDoom out there. I said I was going to do it. I kept my promise. I kept my word, and it's honestly been worth it. I've really been enjoying the reaction to it. People who've enjoyed seeing it up there, people who've been offended by it, are quite frankly the most hilarious, because look at it. How can you be offended by stuff like that? It's someone's crude drawing. You've probably seen worse stuff scrawled on bathroom walls. You've probably seen a wall full of dicks in school. But honestly, it's something that I can now say that I've done. God. Something that will forever be there until I decide to shamefully hide it away, which, to be honest, I won't. I'm going to keep it up there for as long as I can until YouTube takes notice of it, and hilariously, this is quite possibly the best thing about all of this HDoom business, is the video is still officially deemed advertiser friendly. So unless you've been living under a rock lately, you'll know all about this already. It's been pretty big news across YouTube. Several prominent YouTubers have already spoken out about it, but there's a bunch of guidelines out there that have been in place for a while, but it's only recently that YouTube has started to act on them and have created a bot that seeks out content that violates those guidelines and tries to take them down. It's mostly done through tagging and titles, so if you've got an offensive title or something that alludes to offensive content in the title or the tags, then that bot's gonna demonetize that video. It's gonna prevent it from making money for its creator, and it's just been so badly implemented. You've had vast swathes of people affected by it who shouldn't have. You've had people like Philip DeFranco having videos demonetized. You've had Boogie2988, one of the most inoffensive YouTubers ever, getting a bunch of his content demonetized. A bunch of content from Chris Raygun as well. I've watched a few videos from him about it. And it feels like YouTube is applying this really broad brush that doesn't have a great eye for detail. It's really, really goddamn inconsistent, because, I mean, look, my stuff is slipping through the cracks. Am I too small to register? I don't know. But regardless, the vast majority of the stuff I make here will probably, one way or another, violate those ad-friendly guidelines, because I do a fair amount of swearing. I'm not above using a few cuss words in my video because I'm so super edgy like that. And have you seen HDoom? Have you seen all of the, quite frankly, sexual content littered around there? Won't someone think of the children? But yeah, what it feels like to me is that YouTube is trying to sanitize itself in some way. It's trying to de-incentivize, that's the word I was looking for, the creation of this quote-unquote controversial content. I mean, it's just so vaguely worded. It could be applied to potentially anything on YouTube. You'd have to have the most bland, inoffensive video ever to avoid breaking some of those guidelines. And I'm thinking that's what YouTube wants. I'm thinking that that's what YouTube wants YouTube to become. It's kind of weird when I think back to the early days of YouTube and how much of a Wild West that seemed to be in comparison to today. It's almost a little depressing, but thankfully YouTube is also massively incompetent because, as I've already mentioned, HDoom is up, HDoom is monetized, HDoom has hentai in its description tags. How do you miss that? How do you even miss that, YouTube? Step your game up and figure out what the hell you're about, because this sanitized version, I don't think anyone will like this, and sooner or later someone's going to come along with an alternative. But anyway, that's enough of that. I'm taking up far too much time complaining on that particular subject here on the channel update. But yeah, I'm looking forward to having a bit more free time in my schedule for future projects on Icarus Live, so keep all your eyes peeled for that. Hopefully I should have some good stuff up relatively soon, as well as the usual batch of Doom Mod Madness episodes. And I'm also going to be trying to deal with my crippling addiction to anime. I recently reacquainted myself with my inner weeaboo. I watched a bit of Steins Gate on a recommendation, subsequently felt all of the feels possible, and felt an unmistakable urge to watch all of the goddamn anime. So now I've got a bloody Crunchyroll account, currently watching ReZero, Mob Psycho 100, well, very, very good anime, but yeah, this is a slippery slope. I'm slowly becoming full weeb again, and that is kinda terrifying. Kinda terrifying. I'm just gonna have to balance it out with more Doom. But anyway, thank you very, very, very much for watching this edition of the channel update. Hopefully I'll have equally interesting stuff to talk about with you next month in the August... No, wait, no, that's the wrong month. October channel update. But until then, this has been Mr. Icarus. Thank you very much for watching. Icarus out.